Hello, we're going to look at how can ozone help in this global pandemic and how Envirusafe fits in with that. We'll look at what is ozone, how is it made, and how does it destroy the coronavirus. Ozone is a naturally occurring gas that is most known for protecting the planet. That was until we put a hole in it and using CFCs and various other refrigeration gases, which now we no longer use, and that problem is being solved. It's also the most powerful disinfectant known to man. The only thing stronger is extreme heat. Ozone kills bacteria and destroys viruses by way of oxidization. It also kills pathogens, mold, fungus, and even bedbugs. It's also been widely used as a deodorizer for many, many years. Ozone is the perfect disinfectant which will sterilize and sanitize the air, as well as hard and soft surfaces and many objects that it comes into contact with. Ozone is a gas that is heavier than air and can get into all those hard to reach, inaccessible nooks and crannies. It should be used as part of any cleaning regime as an added protection for you, your family, staff and customers. Ozone has been used for over 50 years to treat sewage water, as well as for extending the shelf life of food and many other applications. Outside of a few industries, ozone was virtually unknown. However, with the onset of COVID-19, ozone is now becoming an essential part in fighting the coronavirus. It has been proven by more than 17 scientific studies that ozone can destroy the coronavirus. So let's look at how it's made. It can be made two ways naturally. One is through lightning, known as a corona discharge, and the secondly is from UV light from the sun. When lightning strikes, it passes through the air and that generates ozone from the oxygen particles. It's made in a similar way, either through UV light, which is not something we're going to look at today, or via the corona discharge, and that's how our ozone generators work. Oxygen is taken from the air and it's forced between high voltage plates to simulate that corona discharge. The oxygen is broken apart and recombines into ozone. Here's a short video that explains the formation of ozone. Ozone is the triatomic form of oxygen, which is composed of 3 oxygen atoms. Because ozone is unstable and cannot be stored successfully, it must be generated at the point of application by an ozone generator. In the ozone generator, oxygen molecules, O2, are split into individual oxygen atoms. In this state, oxygen is very unstable, so it joins with other oxygen molecules to form O3, which is ozone. For more information on how Envirusafe ozone generators can protect you, your staff and your business, go to envirusafe.co.uk or give us a call or drop us an email. We're happy to help. A virus is not a living thing and does not breed or replicate like bacteria or fungus. A virus needs a host to begin replicating and then infecting the body. This is why it can last so much longer in the air and even much longer on some surfaces. The tiny virus particles can be breathed in while floating in the air before landing on a surface. The virus uses spikes to attach itself to surfaces laying dormant, where it waits patiently for someone to touch the surface and transfer it to their hands before ingesting it. All viruses, including the coronavirus, have an outer shell and spikes made up of protein. Ozone begins to destroy the protein spikes and the outer shell on contact. Ozone attacks and breaks through that protein shell. Ozone oxidizes the DNA of the cell, preventing it from replicating and rendering it harmless. Ozone reverts back to oxygen, leaving no toxic residue, making it safe and 100% environmentally friendly, unlike chemical solutions. So let's have a look at where it should be used. Well, in fact, it might be better to say, where is it better not being used? There are very few situations or applications where ozone won't be beneficial. Most indoor areas. Outdoor areas, not so good unless you're using water, ozonated water. But it's especially good in high traffic, bottleneck or funneled spaces. It's easy enough to clean and sanitize the table and chairs in a bar or restaurant or office or workspace after they've been used and before the next people sit down. It is much more difficult to ensure that high traffic areas like the entrance to a business or the toilets are sanitized and safe. It's not practical to sanitize or disinfect the toilet area after each and every time someone has been in there. Installing an Envirusafe ozone generator in these high traffic areas can help the risk of people coming into contact with the coronavirus, working 24/7 to help protect staff and customers. There are 2 different types of treatment and 3 different types of machine. Firstly, we look at the Mountain Fresh range, which is the trickle treatment. These are units that can be left running in an environment 24/7 or on a timer. They produce low levels of ozone well within the health and safety recommendations, making them safe for people to occupy the space even when the units are working. They're ideal for use in high traffic or funnel areas, as we discussed earlier, where many people use or pass through, and when it is impractical to use a high level shock treatment. We have 2 models of the Mountain Fresh trickle treatment machines. One is a 40-gram unit and the other is an 80-gram unit with a timer. They are absolutely ideal for entrance and reception areas, washrooms, toilets, shower rooms, communal kitchens, meeting and conference rooms, storerooms, waiting rooms, hallways, entrance halls and shops. Next, we have a look at the shock treatment, and again there are 2 different models. When using concentrations of ozone to shock a space, people and animals need to be kept out of the room until after the ozone has had time to work and the unused ozone dissipates, reverting back to oxygen before the room is reoccupied. Let's look at the fan-driven model. There are 2 basic models of the fan-assisted Pro range, 1000 mg and 2000 mg. They're ideal for fast action treatment in large spaces. The fan draws air through the high voltage plates, creating ozone as it does so. The fan then circulates the ozone throughout the space being treated. They're ideal for care homes, to sanitize deliveries as well as for the rooms and the communal areas, hotels, common areas and the guest rooms, bars, pubs and restaurants, kitchens and serving areas, school classrooms and nurseries, soft play areas, indoor ballparks, schools, universities, colleges, offices, and the list goes on. Workshops and factories, petrol stations, houses, apartments, dentists, hospitals and treatment centres. Now we're going to have a look at the pump-driven machine. There are 2 basic models, a 1000 and a 2000 mg. They have a pumped output of 3 litres per minute or 7 litres per minute. They work slightly different in so much that they have an output which you connect a hose to. The hose attaches to the unit and ozone can be piped into the space or liquid to sanitize the water that can be then used for cleaning and sanitizing food, or used as a disinfectant to wash down surfaces or to wash your hands, etc. They're ideal for cars and taxis, coaches, confined spaces, storerooms, water treatment, as a disinfectant for hard surfaces and food, as I've just mentioned, or smaller rooms. For more information and to find out how we can help sanitize, disinfect and protect your customers and staff, go to envirusafe.co.uk or give us a call or email info@envirusafe.co.uk. Thanks for taking the time to listen.